Blood Angels fans, we are going to be eating good in the very near future just because the first action figures for the Blood Angels Horus Heresy lineup has just dropped, and I am very excited to review these action figures. What action figures, you may ask? Well, if you clicked on the title, you already know. But we are going to be taking a look at the two Arch Erelim action figures, or otherwise known as the Angels tiers, and see exactly how effective JoyToy has translated the miniature form into the action figure form. Alright, starting off with the Arch Erelim with the Volkite Serpentas. The general aesthetic and vibe that I get from this action figure is that it is some sort of unholy ghost or revenant, which contrasts against the nobleness of the Blood Angels in general. However, given the atrocious tasks that these units are handed by Sanguinius himself, the look is about 100% correct. I feel like these silver masks are likely the precursor for the more noble Sanguinary Guard death masks, and you can see them side by side. There are some similarities, but there is quite a lot stark differences. I'm going to say, as usual, for the most part, JoyToy did a great job of taking the miniature form and then blowing up into action figure size. I will have to argue, in fact, that the helmet area here on this action figure looks better than the miniature, although this may have something to do with the rather lacking paint job on the miniatures. I love how the hauntingly evil dark gunmetal helmet is brought more to life by the golden wings on the side of the Arch Erelim. Now, the right pauldron is likely one of my favorite pauldrons that JoyToy and GW has ever come out with. The skull is intimidating to look at with bleach bone color, fantastic usage of shading around the teeth and eye sockets. There are these nice angelic wings that appear to be holding a banner that has actually ball that is engraved into the plastic. The left pauldron sports the icon of the Angels Tears, which is equally as interesting, with the skull at the center of it and these blood tears that are surrounding it. Perhaps this black area, though, should have been a different color because it blends in too much with the black background. The arms themselves have no markings or decorations on it, which I feel is a bit of a shame due to this unit being so high profiled and specialized. Now, the chest region for this action figure is very manly, with the defined pecs as well as the prominent man nipples. There are some gunmetal hoses that stand out in contrast to the red of the armor. Now, with the waist area, the belt buckle that consists of these three blood tears with the wings stand front and center of this action figure as well. This blood buckle is accompanied by other instruments of death that are carried by the Erelim, which consists of this crack grenade as well as this frag grenade right here. The black and gunmetal leather pouches also have this fantastic texturization on them. Legs wise, there's a good usage of this gunmetal embroidery to punctuate the red of the armor. The 9th Legion stamp is quite in your face, but looks, I think, a little bit oddly placed in the knee area. The left knee also has this continuity with the left pauldron here, and that they feature the same Angel's Tear symbol. On the back of the legs, there's actually some stuff going on with these rods and pistons that likely bolster the armor. So on this unit, apparently the word jump pack is too plain for them. Apparently they're called Warhawk jump packs, although there's really nothing that is Warhawky about the designs of this jump pack. In fact, the general shape right here is completely the same as the Sanguinary Guard jump packs in the fact that they're rather bulky and cumbersome looking. Flavor-wise, there is the same icon on the back of the jump pack as you find on the left side of the figure. And I also would have liked to see some blue or red engine glow, which would have helped made this area come alive a little bit more. So these twin Serpentas are quite awesome in that I love action figures that are able to dual wield, and this makes this action figure look like a John Woo movie badass. I like the balanced usage of gold, black, and gunmetal on these weapons, but it would have been nice to see some depth of flavor and shading in these gunmetal areas. And now let's move on to the Arch Erelim with the grenade launcher. So at cursory glance, this action figure looks nearly the same as the other one that I just reviewed. So in order not to bore you all, let's see what differences we can gather from this grenade launching toting badass. The helmet area is completely the same. It would have been nice to have some sort of icon to differentiate an Arch Erelim from the other. The pauldrons, chest, and torso. Even most of the waist boasts no difference from the other action figure. However, the items that are dangling down from the waist area have some sort of subtle variation. So this Erelem has two of the same weapons of war, which are the crack grenade as well as the frag grenade on the side. But look here, there is a rad grenade, which is really cool to see as well, because you don't really see these thrown bombs very often, if at all. The textured leather pouches are also a little bit different, and the biggest difference is this golden lantern type icon here. The legs are predominantly the same, except that instead of the icon being on the knee, there is a huge Angel Tears icon that takes up a large space on the shin, which I think is a good look because it makes the area a lot less bland. The Warhawk jump pack is completely the same. Now let's focus in on the grenade launcher. This is surely a beefy weapon. It is definitely large and in charge. I think this could have been a predecessor for the frag cannon, perhaps? Anyway, the grenade launcher design is rather plain looking with the usage of gold, gunmetal, and black. There is a 6-shooter revolving area that contains the grenades themselves, but the cool thing is that it is functional and that you can rotate the area. Now with the movement, there is mostly no hindrance, which is always good on an action figure. There is a slight blockage in the knee area when the legs are pulled back, and this motion is hindered by this bump here in this piston area. While this is not movement, I will have to warn you that the jump packs are rather heavy, so they make the action figure back heavy, so that it may be unstable without the base. I think the imbalance would have been at least mitigated if we got these jump pack stands that we normally get for jump pack Marines. Another word of warning, the pegs on the backpack is a little bit too big for the holes on the back, making for a very tight fit. I ended up having to loosen up this stuff over time, so that's why I was able to fit in rather well. While we are on the topic of the backpack, you can also move these stabilizing thrusters around too, as you can see right here. And finally, the hands are very nice in that the fingers are easy to pry back, but not so loose that their weapons will fall out of their hands. And right now, I will demonstrate to you the ease of slipping this Volkite Serpenta in the action figure's hands. It's a brilliant and nice fit. And now it is size comparison time. So on the left-hand side, we have the Leviathan Blood Angels Terminator, and then the Firstborn Blood Angels Terminator. And the Arch Erelim is clearly shorter than the both of them. And next we have the Death Company and the version 2 Blood Angels Intercessor. And it has been established before, these version 1 Death Company Intercessors are the shortest ones, while these Arch Erelim action figures is the same size as the Primaris Intercessors. And finally, side by side, we have the OG Sanguinary Guard that stands about exactly the same height as the Arch Erelim. And with the in-depth review done, please join me in the wrap-up. All right, Blood Angels Horus Heresy action figure enjoyers, please let me know what you thought of these action figures in the comments section below, because I would like to engage you in some nice active dialogue. But at any rate, I will let you know what I think about them right now. I think that the silver masks are pretty imposing and pretty ghastly looking. They are definitely one of those things that draws your attention into the action figure. I don't really have any major complaints for these action figures. They're only minor quibbles. As I said before, the backpack kind of weighs the action figure back, so you have to be careful about how you pose them. Now, it also would have been nice to get a little bit more variety of figures and weapons that these figures can wield, such as the heavy chainsword, the Iliasis assault cannon, as well as the rotor cannon. I really wanted to see those weapons in these action figure form. So the question is, should you get these action figures? Well, I would have to say, if you are a Blood Angels fan and these are a very specialized unit, that I would say yes, these things are definitely worth the price of admission. And if you want to get these action figures, please click in the link in the description below, or you will be brought to David Toys, which I get all of my action figures from, just because they get their action figures really quickly from the factory and ship it out to you to your doorstep very quickly as well. And before you check out, do not forget to use the code SNS to receive 12% off your purchase. And so closing out, once again, thank you so much, members of the chapter, for joining me until the end of this action figure review. I appreciate each and every single one of you who tune in. Without you guys, this channel would not be doing so well. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next one.